Hey guys, I'm back again. We just keep having meetups like this, and honestly, at this point, I just have to get used to it. And I hope you guys get used to seeing my face quite some time in the same day. And so, I wasn't seeing, I love the Holy Spirit because when we think one way, He has us to do something else because He's God and He's good, y'all. He's faithful, and then our obedience is how He moves. I feel His presence. Y'all, okay, so I'm not gonna make this very long, but I was not gonna share this. I was looking for the envelope that I was gonna, well, anyways, y'all. So he wants me to share this. And honestly, like if I don't share this, he's just gonna keep tapping me to do it. And so um, it's just a quick little story. And so um, when I turned 30 in January, my license finally expired, and because of COVID and all these restrictions that they had because of COVID, they had like extended waivers or whatever, and like they deadlines, should I say, they had these deadlines for you to, if your license was expired, that you can hit this deadline to get it renewed. They gave you that grace period, and so I knew that, but my license, this is my problem. I'm naturally born and raised from Connecticut, and I moved to Texas about 6 years ago. So in that time gap when I moved here, I never changed my license. I never wanted to, and that's probably like my mistake, but I just never wanted to, and I always pushed it off like, oh, I have time, I have time. But when I turned 30, I realized, wait a second, I have to renew my license because it's going to expire. And then, anyways, I was taking up the steps to doing it here, but for some reason, whatever reason, I made my appointments and they just gave me a hard time here in Texas. They made it difficult for me. I went through like two different places, DMVs. We all know how DMV is. It is like, you could be there all day. And the thing was, like, previously I went with my mom because she was visiting at the time, and I went with her and she was in and out. And I remember when I did my appointment, it was just like, oh, you're missing this, you're missing that. And I had the documents in my hand that I needed. So I booked an appointment online, but I wanted to go in person just to see what else they would say. So I went a different day. My appointment wasn't literally until like from that day that I made the appointment online. It wasn't till 4 months later. So I was just trying to see what I could do in between. And so I ended up going to a different DMV to see if maybe they would kind of accept me at that time, because I was already stressing out about this. Like, we need our license. I needed to travel. I needed to get my passport and all these things. And so I ended up going to this different DMV, and they're like, oh, I don't understand why they would even tell you that. You have everything you need. You have your license. And then it's like, is it expired? And I said, yeah, that's the whole point why I'm here. He's like, you may have to retake your test, everything all over again. So I was stressing out because I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. It's been years since I took the test. And I'm a great driver. At least I think I am. But anyways, so I was stressing over this for weeks. Like, when I say I was just like trying not to, but I was like, I don't want to have to do this. And going through the whole Texas state laws, it was just different from Connecticut. And so a few weeks went by, and I remember last week, I still have my Connecticut license, and I remember thinking, let me just go online. I was talking to my brother and my mom about it. I said, let me go online and let me check if I can try and change it this way. So it's amazing how God works. So I have my mom go on. I was busy at the moment. I had her check for me. And so she goes, hey, you're in the system here in Connecticut still. Your license hasn't expired. And I'm like, what? And so she goes, just give me the money and then I'll go. Y'all, my phone just cut off. And so I couldn't finish the first half of this video, but I do want to share the rest of it. So my mom's like, just give me the money, I'll pay for it online for you. And yeah, so everything was pretty much in the system at this point. I was like, okay, this is cool. So you know how you get a confirmation code to process certain things for your privacy. So like you could either get a text message or an email. So I remember getting a confirmation code text to me, and the number was 23456. I literally was like, wait a second. In that moment, I just felt like God was telling me when I do things, it's easy. It is, you don't have to strive for it. When I do things, it is my timing. And so even though it was just numbers, it spoke to me because I was like, I'm over here stressing out, trying to figure out how to get this thing situated. But God is over here taking care of matters, and it's done in such a peaceful way. So fast forward, everything's processed. And so I get the confirmation in my email, and the email says should be expected to receive my license in 20 days from the day that I pretty much did everything. So remind you, I did this last week. I don't remember which day, if it was like Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. It was one of those days, but it was last week. The confirmation code or the confirmation email is telling me it's not going to be in the mail for another 20 days. And on top of that, I didn't even have to fly anywhere. I just redid everything online. So I don't go to the mailbox today, my brother does, and I tell him, do I have any mail? And he comes back and he shows me an envelope, and instantly I felt it, and I said, this has to be my license. And so it says Department of Motor Vehicles, and I open it up, and there is my license. In less than a week, my license came. And the reason why I'm sharing this testimony, the reason why I'm sharing this story is because God was showing me that when he does things, it's unexpected. And God works when we least expect it, because we're trusting his timing. We're trusting the power of his hand to move in our life. And by doing that, we give him the opportunity to show up the way he needs to show up. And it's not to say that it's always like that, but God always finds a way to show us, to confirm in our spirits that he's God and he's sovereign. And he's still seated on his throne. And the reason why I'm sharing this testimony with you guys is because even though it may be small to somebody, but to me, the excitement and joy that came to my spirit, knowing how quickly God worked on my behalf. He's doing that in his sons and daughters' life in this moment. He's working so quickly and unexpectedly when you position your heart in a place of, I trust you, God. I know you got me. I don't have to worry about a thing. I don't even know how this is going to play out, but I know you are sovereign. I know you're going to do this thing. And I'm trusting you, and I have faith. Teach me to be patient in you. And God works when we are at peace with him and in him. So I wanted to share this testimony that it encourages somebody. When God speaks a word over your life, that word is going to come to pass. Have trust in God. Be faithful and know he's sovereign. He's seated on his throne. He is not breaking a sweat at all. God sees everything we go through. And oftentimes in the midst of the things we're facing, he's also building up our strength. God he never intends evil on us. He takes what the enemy thinks he could try to do against us, and he takes that and he turns it around for our good, because we're a blessing. We're blessed to be a blessing, y'all. So I hope this encouraged you guys. I'm really ecstatic about my license, because now I can go get my passport. And yeah, so if you've been waiting, keep waiting. Be faithful. Know God is the perfecter of our faith, and he will never allow you to go through deep waters if he was not with you. God is that faithful to us. He loves us so much. So I pray that this really encourages you guys. I don't know if I'll be back. Probably not. I don't know. But I love y'all, and I'll talk to you guys soon. God bless.